Grace Van Dien deserves better. Hollywood and its broken system. Grace Van Dien, most well known for her role as Chrissy Cunningham in Season 4 of Stranger Things, recently spoke candidly about her treatment in Hollywood on a video game streaming platform. In addition to Grace Van Dien's acting career, she is also a Twitch streamer known as Bluefill. This is a newer profession in which people watch and pay people online to play video games.
Pew pew. You got it, I believe.
They can also be sponsored by companies to promote products. She later announced on her stream that she had stepped down from acting recently due to unwanted advances from producers. She alleged that she had been asked to engage in sexual acts to get parts or keep her job.
One of the producers hired a girl that he was sleeping with, and then he had her ask me to have a threesome with them.
Now, she more frequently streams video games due to the protection that gives her. According to Variety, she stated, "I get to stay inside my house and play video games, and I don't have my boss asking me to have sex with them." Sadly, this type of behavior is not that uncommon in the film industry. However, this other stream of revenue gives her a form of autonomy. It's not like Van Dien is naive when it comes to the landscape of the entertainment industry. She comes from a family of well-known actors. Her father is Casper Van Dien, most known for playing the lead role of Johnny Rico in Starship Troopers. Her mother is Carrie Mitchum, an actress and producer whose father was Robert Mitchum. He was an actor during the golden age of Hollywood, most well known for his roles in film noirs. Abuse in the industry. While the Me Too movement has been in mainstream culture since 2017, not many people have been brought to justice due to the sensitive nature of the crimes. This movement was started in 2006 by Tarana Burke. Many people do not name their abusers due to the stigma around power imbalances. That power imbalance is something that abusers often use to create fear in the victims and make them not speak out.
There was plenty of women that were willing to sleep their way to the top. Well, men and women, but that set a precedent for the predators.
One of the more groundbreaking stories that came out of the Me Too movement was the accusation and jailing of Harvey Weinstein. Before his conviction, Weinstein was an immensely powerful film producer. While Weinstein's abusive behavior, both mental and physical, had been an open secret in Hollywood for years, people would not come forward due to the threats he would make about ruining their careers if they decided to speak out.
A man with the power to make or break careers may have harmed his own.
What took him down was the enormous amounts of people who spoke about his years of mistreatment and abuse of those around him. Finally, the spotlight was too intense for the legal system to ignore. Good news. Most recently, there has been a more open conversation about the abuse that people face in the workplace.
Doesn't matter who you are, as a humanist, this is something we need to get rid of. It's despicable and it needs to stop.
People like Gina Malone, who played Johanna Mason in the Hunger Games franchise, came out as having endured assault during the production of The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. While people online had wanted her to name her abuser, that is not the most important part. Often when abusers are named, that opens the door for accusations that the victim is lying or wants to get clout from the situation. However, when the victim speaks only about their experience, it helps empower someone who was previously silenced. Another positive example of the power of speaking out is Brendan Fraser. While he was a heartthrob in the 90s, after some body changes and his own experience with sexual assault, he did not make many acting projects. He has since come back to great acceptance by the showbiz community and fans. A part of his Oscar win narrative incorporated a comeback story that culminated with his performance in the film The Whale. Again, it is not clear if the person who assaulted Frazier was ever pursued legally to ensure that he would not do these things again. Hopefully, as more people speak out about these injustices faced against them, more abusers will feel ashamed. Thus, the feeling that the abuser is getting away with something will not be as strong. For right now, speaking out against abuse is not systematically changing how people in power use their position. They still feel entitled to use their power to gain favors in a system that is trying to become more equitable on many different fronts. While this is the present case, more people publicly recognize the way unequal power structures negatively impact the health and well-being of those who work together. Conclusion. One way in which this industry could change for the better is by encouraging a more open environment in which things like this can be discussed in the workplace. When more people agree that certain types of behavior are not allowed, the work structure is beginning for those who are actually in line with company policy. As more people can be rooted out for inappropriate behavior, this could be a time in which new people are hired. Many people complain that the diversity that is strived for on camera is not being seen behind the camera. When more diverse people are brought into the workplace, that allows new ideas and values to emerge. While anyone can be a victim or abuser, if the entertainment industry does not make any change in who has the power, then nothing will progress. No change is worse than making moves to minorly improve a situation. Thankfully, the media-loving public has been more supportive of victims coming out and sharing their stories. As a whole, there have been more shows and films that focus on the ruin that can happen because of sexual assault. For instance, I May Destroy You, starring Michaela Cole, Promising Young Woman, starring Carey Mulligan, Women Talking, starring Claire Foy, Jessie Buckley, Rooney Mara, and Frances McDormand, and She Said, which also stars Carey Mulligan with Zoe Kazan and Ashley Judd. She Said is even about the writers who investigated the Weinstein allegations. All of these award-winning and nominated pieces of work have similar storylines. All focus on women who have been affected by sexual assault and have to reckon with the aftermath. Most of these shows or films were in part a reflection of real-life events and had a team of women working in production to make sure these messages were delivered thoughtfully and respectfully.
I can't change what happened to you in the past, but together we may be able to help protect other people.
Unfortunately, it does not seem like those who produce work in Hollywood see this as a sign to stop them from hurting other people. Instead of just making pictures to generate empathy, it has become time to hit abusers in a fashion that calls them to task. The financial impact is how the message of treating people like humans worthy of respect would get through the most.